Hey guys, so today I'm going to show you some new Union support that recently came out. It's based on the original XYZ Dragon Cannon stuff. So I'm going to just show you the main cards of the deck real quick before I get to any replays. There's A Assault Core, C Crush Wyvern, and B Buster Drake. And yeah, B Buster Drake, I thought I was dragging for a moment. And what these cards do is each of them can equip to a light machine type, and then each one does a specific thing. Like Drake makes your equipped monster unaffected by your opponent's spells, Wyvern makes your monsters unaffected by traps, and Core makes them unaffected by monster effects. And then each one does another thing when it leaves the field. For example, Wyvern will special summon a unit from your hand. Drake adds a unit from your deck to your hand, and Core adds one from your grave to your hand. And the main purpose of this is to get all three on the field and grave, because once you have all three of them, which is really simple to do, you can banish all three and get ABC Dragon Buster. And this card is absolutely amazing. You can discard one card during either player's turn and then banish a card right off the field. And then during your opponent's turn, you can tribute it and summon 3 of your banished light machines. And that means the cards that you banished to summon it. So if your opponent tries to Castell you or 101 you, you can just get rid of it and then bring the 3 back. Let's see, so they also have their own back row stuff. Scramble Union, which is one of the greatest special summoning cards I've ever seen. You target up to 3 of your banished light machines, which means getting rid of A, B, and C to summon out Buster. Then you flip this thing and you special summon all 3 of them back. And when it's in the grave, except the turn that it went to the grave, you can banish it and add a unit back to your hand. Now, what makes this card really good is it says target up to 3, meaning you don't have to have all 3 in your grave if by some chance one of them is not banished anymore. So you can just get 2 or even 1 if you want. And their other card, actually they have 2 other ones. Heavy Mech Support Armor, which is also pretty interesting. I think it would be better if it was level 4, because rank 4 plays, but it's still a really cool card, because when it's normal summoned, you can special summon a unit from your graveyard. And then that means you can either equip armor, or whatever you special summon, to each other. And it makes the equipped monster, if you choose to use armor as the equip, can't be targeted by opponent's card effects. And their final card is Union Hanger. Now this card, when it's activated, you get to add a light machine union from deck to hand, which means basically any of the machines that you need. And when you summon, whether it's special summon or normal summon, you can equip it with one of your light machines. So for example, if you summon Crush Wyvern, it can be equipped with a B Buster Drake right out of your deck, whether it's normal or special summoned. So that gets you 2 pieces instantly. And if you already have one of the pieces when you get Hanger, that means you're probably going to end up with all 3. So I have about 3 recordings. This one is the quickest, but I can show you a really nice combo that this deck can play. So let's get to it. To start off, Photon Lead to summon Buster Drake, followed by Raiden. Raiden's effect to mill 2, into Minerva. Minerva's effect to mill 3, and then pass. And the other guy is playing a Toon deck. And they start off with hand destruction, so I get rid of Drake or Wyvern and Turtle. And he searches out Kingdom, Shadow Toon for 2000, and then Comic Hand to steal Minerva. He would have been able to put in 4000 damage, but I decided to banish Turtle. And he tributes for Magician Girl. So my turn comes up, and Terraforming for Hanger. Banish into Buster. Scramble Unit. Then he changes his effect. And then Buster effect to get rid of Toon, Hanger to search out a Union, Buster Drake effect, or my field spell, banish all 3 again for another Dragon Buster, and get rid of Dark Magician. I went into battle phase and he quit. It's mainly because he was about to take 3,000 damage, or 4,000, and he would have been left with having to top deck a card, and no matter what he did, that was gonna be the end of the game. There was really nothing he could do. Right, I'm gonna get on to the next replay. Alright, so in this one, we're against Dark Magician deck. So I had first turn. Activate Hanger to search out my 3rd piece. Photon Lead for core. Hanger. And then I normal summon the last piece. Summon Minerva. And the reason I chose to do Minerva over going right into Dragon is I can just mill more pieces off easier, and usually with that milling 3, I can just detach one of these 2, and then possibly mill the 3rd piece that I would need. Unfortunately, that doesn't happen this turn, so I just pass. He just sets 3 and passes. So he really didn't have much that he could do. Exalted Lightsworn to mill 3, and then banish them. And then I equip Crushfire to make him unaffected by traps. And I add Core back to my hand. Core's effect banishes face down. He flips Eternal Soul to special summon Dark Magician out. But since Eternal Soul leaves the field, he instantly loses Dark Magician, so I don't really know why he did that. And then banish some more, or mill some more, and all those attacks are ready for face. He didn't really have anything. And then mill 2 more for Aiden. He gets out Mahad, and yeah, then he goes to attack right, and it doesn't really matter to me. I wasn't gonna use his effect for that. End phase, I can chain to banish one of his face downs. And then do the same thing again this turn, banish all 3, and get rid of his Mahad. So that's game there, and then he quits. So you can see what this deck can do, how crazy the combos can be, and how quickly you can just put your opponent at a huge disadvantage by being able to banish 1 card every turn. And on top of that, when you do discard a card, you can just discard more pieces to get out another Buster, which speeds this deck up even more. So it's really crazy with the things that this deck can do. We have one last replay, and then I can show you guys the deck list. Alright, so this is my last replay, and it's against Super Heavy Samurai. I didn't know he had Gold Gadget in his hand when I played him. Just presumed it was just a straight Super Heavy deck. Alright, so I had turn 1 again. And Terraforming for a second Union Hanger. Union Hanger to search out Core. Summon Core. Union Hanger. So then I can get out a second piece. Charge of the Light Brigade, and the reason this card is good is for the mill. And then set Needlebug Nest so I can mill another 5 cards. He ends his turn, so I just mill 5. And now my field source, I already have everything set up to make Dragon Buster. And then I'm gonna just equip Core, activate Buster Drake to get Crush Wyvern. Activate another Hanger, search again. And then just equip again, just to speed up the deck a bit. Crush Wyvern onto that, so it's not affected by traps or monsters. And then Drake for a free search. You see how this deck goes off, it's really nuts. And then I set Scramble Union and pass. He goes for Flutist, so I just get rid of that immediately. and that's where he quits because he already lost his normal summon and there wasn't anything he could do. Alright, so let me get to the actual deck that you guys have probably been waiting to see. Alright, so this is my build for it. I'm calling it ABC. You can call it ABC deck, alphabet deck, I don't really care. So how I'm doing this is triple of all my unions, triple Raiden Handle the Light Swarm because in one turn he can just mill 4 cards and that can get you into what you need really fast. Triple Drake, double Shining Angel mainly because he can get out your Crush Wyvern, he can get out your Buster Drake, and if you actually want to or care, Electromagnetic Turtle. I would say support armor, but you're not going to get the normal summon effect, so it's not really important. Now, triple Crush Wyvern, Electromagnetic Turtle, because 1, you can get him in the grave by milling, or 2, Dragon Buster can discard him and put him in the grave. Triple support armor for pretty obvious reasons. Raigeki, because Raigeki. Double terraforming. Some people might be asking why 2 instead of 3. This might be a question that's asked by newer players or less experienced players. And the reason being is, since I'm only playing 3 field spells, I'm going to want to play 2 terraformings, because say I already open one of my union hangers and get a terraforming later, it could potentially be a brick, because I've already had a hanger, so I wouldn't need 3 terraformings, and I won't have anything to do with that terraforming. Foolish Burial to get into my pieces quicker. Double Charge so I can mill, get Raiden. Double Photon Leads, just so I can special summon my pieces out. It's actually a pretty decent card. I play it in a couple other decks, like Gadget, since they have gold and silver now. Frontline Base, this is actually a really old card, and from the time it came out, it's been pretty useless up until now, where you get to special summon some really cool unions that actually have really decent effects, where prior unions were basically useless and garbage. Triple Union Hanger for more obvious reasons. Double Needlebug Nest, I mentioned this card earlier. You mill 5 cards, and as I said, get your combo pieces. Triple Scramble Unit, and triple Solemn Strike, because not only are you stopping your opponent's plays with Dragon Buster, but if your opponent somehow tries to play around Dragon Buster, you can just Solemn Strike them and they're done. Triple Dragon Buster, I mentioned all his effects earlier. 1 Scarlight, since we have Raiden who's a tuner. S39 along with number 39. Dark Rebellion. And what I like about the XZ, the detached 2 material, is say you already have one of your pieces in the grave and you have the other 2 on your field. What you could do is overlay both of those and then do the detached 2 effect, and then banish all 3 for Dragon Buster. So this is one of those decks that could potentially, you summon a strong monster and then you get a strong monster. You get rewarded for summoning a strong monster with another strong monster. It's really crazy that decks that do stuff like that. 39 for S39. Ragna 0. Omega, so just like in 2 light monsters, make it unaffected by spell traps. Not bad. Geekin X to search out pieces. 101, because the whole thing I mentioned earlier, detach 2, and then get out another boss monster, steal your opponent's monster. A Giant Hand, because Giant Hand. Castell, once again, detach 2, get out another boss monster, get rid of one of your opponent's cards. Minerva for the mill 3 and get to your pieces quicker, and then once destroyed you mill another 3. And then Cowboy, just in case you need it for game or anything. So that's basically my current list. As you can see, the whole deck is really heavily centered around just getting these 3 in the grave. And if you can get multiple copies in the grave, that's also really good, because then you just get out multiple Dragon Busters potentially. I can see this deck actually being a future meta deck. It can also play around along with Burning Abyss possibly. I'm not really like guaranteeing anything. It just looks like it has the potential to do that. So leave your like suggestions, any questions, any of that stuff down in the comments. Feel free to subscribe to the channel. For anyone who's been watching Legend of Zelda, I haven't been able to get around to that lately. I know a couple of you have been enjoying that. I did try to upload something about a month ago, but seemed to have failed. It was on a couple indie games I found. But that's about it, guys. So I hope you enjoy this deck. I hope you guys get to play it. I love it. It's so nuts. It's like people playing against it probably think it's super unfair because like they just lose their field for no reason and you just keep going plus. That's basically it. Alright guys, see you next time.